Well, I realized I just did a video yesterday about silver being $18.88 Sunday night as the access markets opened. Watched it throughout the day, bounced around a little bit, and then ended the day 1888. I want to tell you first how incredibly statistically impossible that would normally be for anybody to just guess in a Webbot report or any report, a month ago or more. Actually, it was a month. I believe it was the July report, wasn't it? So yeah, we're talking early July when that came out, a month and a half ago, if that, if a little bit longer. To say, basically, watch 1888, and to see the access markets open up on Sunday, boom, 1888. After the price has been $20, moves around a little bit, back up in the 20s, hit 21. Remember that? It jumped up a whole dollar something. It blew through remember that one? It blew through 17, 18, 19, went way up. Been hovering around $20 in some change. And then the club does a number on it. And it drops it down into the 19s and then into the 18s. This after Webbot said watch 1888. So again, Sunday night, market opens. Holy crap, it's at 1888. And you mean to tell me on market's close, Monday, afternoon, late afternoon, market's close. What is the closing price? It's over 1888. Opens at 1888, essentially. I mean, it didn't spot on, but it hit 1888 and was standing around 1888 Sunday night for quite a while. It just kept going in your face, basically. And then we have, and again, when the markets opened, it almost very quickly went to 1888. Okay? And then the markets closed, so the closing price is 1888. Webbot talks about the specific. Why didn't Webbot say 1889, 1887? Oh, missed it by a tenth. So, actually, not even a tenth. It'll be a fifth or whatever. Anyways, no, not even a fifth. I'm trying to think of my math here. It'd be a hundredth, right? Tenth, hundredth. Anyways, 2 decimal points over. You could still come out here and say, man, 1887, I mean, that's close enough. Or 1889, 1890, that's close enough. I mean, come on, guys. I could have made a great case for it anyways. Hey, guys, it's been at $20-something. Got smacked around. All of a sudden, it's down, into the high 18s. It's 1889, 1890. It would still be pretty interesting, and I still would have discussed it. But it's 1888. It practically started with it and ended with it. While it bounced around that day. It could have landed anywhere. So I'm thinking about this, and he said this is one of the precursors. Now we need to watch Bitcoin. Bitcoin should be around $1,000 when silver really starts to make a big move. Like a huge move. And I'm reading this article at Silver Doctors today, and it got me thinking about this, which is why I'm doing this video starting off this way. And I want to show you this little stock symbol here, HUI, ARCA Gold Bugs Index, down 2.24% today. However, if you look back at January, we have a low of, if I can move my mouse just right at about 100. It was like absolute bottom, right? I keep skipping over it. $100 for a share. I've got the 2-year chart here. Matter of fact, let's go to 5-year. So what would that be, 2011? Let's look at how high the sucker was at one point. 618. How about 10-year? Yep, so about roughly, we'll call it 600. Very, very close. And that 598 there, but I did see 618 somewhere. So back to the 5-year. You can see it came down after the whole 2011 thing, and they've been just at rock bottom prices. So even at 262 right now dollars per share, when just earlier this year, matter of fact, let's go back so I can really show you. 165, 1 year. There it is, 104, $100.70. So there's the low, January 19th. But even all around there, 105, 130, 110, 107, etc. Little over $100. It's now 279 to 81 was the high as of like a few days ago. It's now down to 268. Big deal. Point being, it's like 140 whatever something percent increase from 7-8 months ago. Going back to the 10-year, what do we see? This baby is up around $600. So the interesting thing for me, and it kind of brings me to reading this article to you from Silver Doctors, is that, again, you look at the price, even in 2010, I mean, look at this. January 1st, 2010, price $262, right? Oh, no, excuse me. $374. And 2011 comes around. Remember what happened in 2011? Price of gold went up, price of silver went up big time, and then they crashed. However, this is essentially a vote for the industry or mining companies, etc. That's what this is, the gold bugs index. 552, we had 600. But these prices are also late in the year. This is October. The crash had already happened. So we got October 1st, January, February 2012. We're still at $530. And then the next year starts to come down more, right? So mining shares, as well as this HUI, I love the name of it, ARCA Gold Bugs Index. Love it. But TF Metals, which is what this article is I'm going to read you from Silver Doctors, says, and look at the title, the HUI, that stock symbol I just showed you, is the new gold and silver spot price. The spot price is dead. And he goes on to talk about the spot price. How is it set? Oh, paper derivatives contracts, 300 to 1, 500 to 1, nonsense. But when you look at a company or these shares, in this case, the HUI, they say something different. So I'm going to read you what his thoughts are. It definitely made me think that this might be the breaking of the price setting mechanism, which is the derivatives, COMEX market, whatever, futures contracts. And people are going to go to the companies. Oh, price is what today? Whatever. I'm going to go buy, some of the shares of this company. Now, the problem with that is you're buying a piece of paper. Sure, it's a company associated, attached to, mining company, something related to gold, silver, precious metals. But you're still buying a piece of paper. However, when you look at that market, this thing was around back when the price was $600 a share, and it's here now, 260 something bucks, when earlier this year was just 100 something. So you would expect to see the same thing happen that now as what happened in 2012 or 2011 when we had this big peaking of gold and silver prices. Gold $1,900, silver $49. But silver has been smacked down. Gold is being pushed down as well. Silver pretty heavily. Yet the share price is still continuing to climb of this HUI. So this is odd. There's a disconnect. So he says, on Friday, I posted a comment. This is from Silver Doctors talking here, that our friend TF, or from TF Metals, suggested would make an interesting weekend thread for group discussion. As a loyal soldier, I am hereby submitting the idea as a thread for scrutiny, discussion, scorn, etc. This will be the extended version with some extra stuff that Murphy, my pal and partner in fevered theorizing, and I have been throwing back and forth, both here and outside Silver Doctors. In the immortal words of Hans and Franz, listen to me now and hear me later. Number 1. I submit that spot price for gold and silver is dead. The markets have left it dying and bleeding on the side of the highway like roadkill. The actual value-setting mechanism for precious metals has become the mining indexes. Spot price, as TF has argued for years now, only prices what people are willing to pay for the paper derivative that tries to masquerade as gold and silver. It does not price actual gold and silver. Well, hold on. It does price gold and silver because when I call any company that sells gold and silver, APMEX, Silver Doctors, as a matter of fact, JM Bullion, Monex, any of them. What's the spot price? Okay, here's our price, right? So it actually is set. However, the point he's making is valid. So let me continue. In the past, this might have been dismissed as just some semantic tick of gold bugs. But I argue that the markets, yes, the big money, investing billions with a B, we are the ones who count markets, are providing that they, too, now understand this to be the case. GLD is in the blue, which I'm going to show you. HUI is in the green. Take a look. So this chart is what he's talking about. And he's saying green, HUI. In blue is the paper, basically GLD, SLV, GLD in this case. So what do you see here? GLD essentially tracking with gold. Again, the spot price of gold, paper gold. The green, on the other hand, just look at it from January to February, it starts up in a way, 144%. Currently, of course, as you see, it's been as high as 150% recently. So there's this disconnect, visible disconnect, and that's the point he's trying to make. GLD is up 26% year to date. He says, fine, that's lovely. It is 26% year to date. That is great. But the HUI is up 144%, and that is 5.5 times the rise in the so-called price in gold, a rise that is out of whack, even given the leaner miners, more profitable, etc., earnings potentials. The share price rise is outstripping those things, and more importantly, share price rises during times when spot price stays flat. Same with silver. It has been fascinating to see capping mini beatdowns in spot price and all increasingly ignored by big money. But they aren't buying GLD, as if those tons are actually physically there anyways. And they aren't buying SLV, same story. They sure as hell aren't standing for delivering the COMEX, which they know doesn't have the metal to deliver. Big money has become smart money and is ignoring GLD, SLV, and the paper COMEX futures as flawed instruments. No, those billions are flowing into the miners. You can see it in the daily fluctuations. As spot price gets knocked down, the miners dip briefly, then rise back up strongly. Spot price stays tepid and weak because nobody wants to put big money into those flawed instruments. On a daily basis, the HUI and other indexes trade like real things. Part of the discussion Murphy and I have had is based just on the way these things have traded versus spot price. Admittedly, much of this is feel in trading, chart watching sense of seeing the tick for tick stuff, but I suspect that the traders out there will know what I'm talking about. I would be very interested in hearing from others, pro or con, on this, but basically here's what we are seeing. Spot gold and silver is doing the same old crap it always does, including the tricks to manipulate price that we are quite used to, i.e. spoofing bids to cap, large bunches of orders suddenly coming in out of nowhere to overwhelm the bid during Globex training to the knock of a cheap $4 to $8, knock down $48 off gold, etc. You guys know the drill. The stuff that has become old hat since the Blythe Masters days. We've gotten all used to it. It's just how the metals trade, including how, as TF constantly points out, usually the biggest input moving gold price is the dollar to yen cross. Now, have you ever sat back and really thought about how truly absurd it is that the best, most pure store of value on the planet, the golden monetary metal, something that 1 billion Chinese and 1 billion Indians, especially during wedding season, and at least another 1 billion people all worldwide, all hold precious, something held and owned by literally every major and minor central bank on earth, has its price usually set during daily trading by fluctuations between the dollar and yen. The yen, a currency printed like napkins by a mad Keynesian, Mr. Carudo, whose country has been working on a lost decade for 22 years now, whose aging population represents just 1.7% of the world. And that is the major trading input setting worldwide gold price on a daily and weekly basis? Yep, thanks to the algos or algorithms, the high-frequency trade inputs, and the deliberately directed leverage. That's largely how we determine the global price of this. But wait, over the last 6 months, and especially over the last 3, I think, what we have increasingly started seeing, not all the time, but more often, is that when stupid stuff happens to the gold and silver price, the HUI and the other mining indexes shrug it off. They are starting to trade like spot price would in a rational market. That is the sense I'm trying to convey from a trader's perspective. It's not that they never go down. It's that when they go down, it is for reasonable reasons, not fakery PM market reasons. Look at the difference between silver over the last 7 weeks and the silver mining index SIL over the last 7 weeks. It's huge. Trust me, because even more fun. It's been even more fun watching on a daily basis. So let's look. Take a little peek at that. It's almost the same chart I just showed you. It's almost the same one. 130% increase. Same time frame. Silver barely moving along. It's going up, but just barely. And then you have the SIL, which again is like a share. It's not SLV or derivatives. This is like a share. The SIL, which is miner's index. It doesn't care. Oh, silver got knocked down $2 up. It doesn't care. It keeps climbing. So I wonder, which I don't have to read the rest of this because the point's made, but I wonder if by chance Cliff High says, well, yeah, I may have just canceled out my own thought, but I'm gonna give it to you anyways. He said 1888. We got to watch that. We need to be watching Bitcoin for hitting $1,000. And it's currently in the 500 something range, I believe. Of course, I don't have my phone on me. I don't even think I looked today, but yesterday it was 500, high 500s or whatever. And he said that the data attached to that or whatever, that the next price point was $38-ish. So that would, 18 plus 18, 36. It's not 18, it's actually more like 19. So 19 plus 19, $38. Excuse me. The reason I said I just canceled it out, myself out or whatever, is because I was thinking, what if it's one of these mining companies or these shares of some of these, like the HUI or in this case, the SIL index. Problem is, it's already up. 100, what was the actual price? Did it show it? Just a percentage. But it's up, you're talking 144%. That's already higher. If you took 144%, it's already way higher. So that wouldn't make sense. But he seems to be talking about physical, silver, price of silver, not a share, not the SLV, Again, it's data and it's interpreted by a human, and it could be wrong in some respect, some way or another. But the other interesting thing is, and some people have emailed this to me. I've seen it, by the way. I just didn't do it. It's odd because I would normally do a video on something like this. And when I saw this, I had no urge to do the video on this. It's weird. And now my urge may have paid off not to do the video. But what the video would have been about, and this was from August 22nd, which is today that I'm doing this video, but this was already posted over the weekend. U.S. Mint halts Silver Eagle coin production due to lack of demand. What? And they said, oh, we've got 5-something million ounces of Eagles, and we've only had, the numbers they were showing, that article I read was like they've only had this many this month, 150,000 last month. It was terrible sales. So the Mint is not going to produce any more 2016s until they can clear out the inventory. And I saw that, I'm like, that's odd. Year after year after year, Silver Eagle sales break record next year. Silver Eagle sales breaks record next year, breaks record next year, breaks record. This year, horrible sales all of a sudden, hundreds of thousands instead of millions being sold. We're going to stop production. I thought that was very odd. And that's why I didn't do the video. But now, U.S. Mint official disputes reports, claims Mint has not stopped production of Silver Eagles. The U.S. Mint advised the largest APs on Friday that they had stopped production of 2016 Silver Eagle coins. That's when I saw this. It was last Friday. And then Saturday I was reading more about it. After the report triggered a deluge of inquiries to the Mint, their official spokesman is now denying the Mint has stopped production of the coins. Something is fishy in Denmark. Editor's note, either the U.S. Mint entirely fabricated their own rumor, and that's possible, or else we suspect that Mr. White's statement below is only half true. The part that the Mint is continuing to sell Silver Eagle coins to the authorized purchasers, or APs, we will leave it to our readers to make their own conclusions. So I'm not going to read this whole article either. What in the hell is going on? Because when I heard that story Friday, I said, this sounds like a desperate attempt to me by the U.S. Mint, again, the government, to tell everybody all of a sudden, like a Hillary Clinton gathering, nobody is showing up to buy precious metals anymore. They just stopped. Again, let me walk out, mainstream media, let me walk outside and feel the real temperature. Real temperature says 2013, massive sales. 2014, even more massive sales. 2015, even more massive sales. Start of 2016 was awesome. August, July, terrible, 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 terrible. Something changed? Did our debt get knocked down? Did the real job supply get better? Everything got worse? And we piled on even more debt? Yeah. Thermometer, precious metal sales? Nope, they're horrible. So I don't know what the hell that's about. But I do see why would, and this story was supposedly coming from the authorized purchaser. Some of the authorized purchaser, I guess, was saying it. And again, for a company like Silver Doctors or JM Bullion or APMEX or whoever, these guys, and I'm not sure all of them, but a lot of coin dealers you might know, these aren't authorized purchasers. Those people have to buy from the authorized purchasers to get theirs, and the authorized purchaser has to buy from the Mint directly. So the authorized purchaser buys to the Mint, and then they sell it to the other coin dealers, and then they sell it to you. Now, again, I don't know the stat is Gainesville Coins or is APMEX, are they authorized? I don't know the answer. I'm just giving you an example. But no authorized purchaser on the face of this earth is going to fabricate a story like that. Here's why. you're an authorized purchaser. I've been seeing the silver demand. I bought a bunch of Silver Eagles and other products, but make this simple, bought a bunch of Silver Eagles. Since that's like one of the number one selling coins in the world, we bought a bunch of Silver Eagles. And we had to get them from the mint like we always do. How would my sales do? I got a big supply. How would my sales do if I come up and make up a story that the U.S. Mint is halting production because they have seen terrible sales recently, which means there's a glut of Silver Eagles on the market, and all of our authorized purchasers, all of them out there, all of us, have a bunch in stock. We need to get rid of them. Again, you're now going to tell everybody, listen, the demand is dried up. Hardly anyone's buying these things anymore. Do you want to come buy some? I got some here. Well, no, there's not. The trend has changed. I don't think I do want to buy any. Right? So it doesn't make sense for an AP to come out and say that unless the mint told them that. That's the only thing that makes sense, because you would never say such a thing unless the mint said so, and you could just repeat it because now you heard it from the official source. So now, U.S. Mint official disputes reports and claims Mint has not stopped production of Silver Eagles. Which would mean what? If there are these dismal sales of Silver Eagles, why would you keep producing? You're going to have a glut of 2016s. You know, Silver Eagle, 2016 year. It makes no sense. I look at this and I think there's just propaganda written all over this. And that's part of why I never even did the video about this. But now that this part has come out, I had to mention it. So we have our 1888 silver. Started off pretty much at 1888. Ended absolutely at 1888. There must be something to that number. I tell my wife, I know we're paying off our credit cards, and I've run mine up a little bit, buy some things, and paid off real fast. Hers, I think, was paid off today, or I'll have to ask her, completely paid off. I have a little bit left on mine. That's it, but I use mine up server motherboards. I need to get some because I'm about to send my servers out to a data center, remote control software, remote help kind of a thing. I got to get that going. So I bought these things used. Good price for very powerful servers. One of them starting to kind of, it froze up a couple more like 3 or 4 times. It's running currently right now, just running, because every morning I'll go check it. If it's froze up, that's when it does it, when I come the next day and look at it. So anyways, what I'm telling you is I use my credit card, start paying it off, up, use it again, start paying it off, up, use it again. Why am I doing that? Jay Snip, why don't you just buy and get cash? I mean, I thought you hate the credit card companies. Yes. Man, oh man, are you right. But I fought that foreclosure, settled with the bank. It's still on my record as far as credit history goes. How does one build up their credit score as fast as possible? Get that credit card, don't max it out, but definitely go more than half of it. Use that baby up. Use it. Big chunks pay off, maybe 2 payments in a month, not $40 or $50, a few $100s, boom, a few $100s, boom, etc. So that's why I'm using it. I had to be clear, because you hear me talking about being in debt, you're going to be like, what the hell? Jay Snip 4 is talking like he's using credit cards? What's wrong with that guy? No, there's a method to my madness. But where I was going with this whole story is that I already told the wife, we paid off your card, we got mine there, whatever. You got phenomenal credit. And you have huge limits on your 2 credit cards. Evelyn, Cliff High is talking about this 1888 thing. It just happened today. And then ended the day with it too. Listen, just make sure your credit cards are on standby, ready to be used. Because if I see any kind of sizable jump in the price of silver that is absurd, or anything that catches my eye, makes me even think, there's something here, I'm sending you the link. Go here, buy this much right now, and put it on your card. That's how that's going to go. Until then, I will sit here and wait and watch the price of silver. I'm not putting it on the credit card right now. Because one part of the back of my mind, and I've said this, I have not said this in quite a while, but I have said this numerous times. I'll be honest, I don't know if I've even said it this year, but I've definitely said this numerous times. If you have, well, let me back up. The club, throughout history, they don't buy stuff, certainly at the height. They don't even buy stuff at a fair market price. They don't even buy stuff below market price. They freaking destroy something or the price that sets that something, like a stock market crash or 2008 Lehman Brothers, etc. And then old JP Morgan can come in and scoop up a company that had its shares $80, $90, $100 a share. We'll offer you $1. All right, don't sue us. We'll offer you $2. All right, that's fair. Thank you. Give us all the assets. Here's your $2 a share. We now own the company. They buy stuff when it's a freaking fire sale. Now, I realize JP Morgan has allegedly been buying physical silver, like for itself, all this time. But to me, is $20 a fire sale? Well, no. If they really do a number on silver one last time, and they crush it, $8, $9, $10, that's when I want to pick up that phone. Evelyn, I'll call her on both office phone, cell phone, dial together, boom. Evelyn, calling the house phone, calling her cell phone. Evelyn, in stereo, grab the other phone, listen to me. Get your freaking credit card out right now and buy X amount of silver immediately. I'm sending you the link. It's already in your email. That was my process, my thought process after I had accumulated the amount of silver that I've always wanted. And then saw, well, wow, the crash hasn't happened yet. I've got my goal. Let me buy a little bit more. But I didn't go crazy, like, then buy a huge amount. No. I would love to see one more SmackDown, I guess is what I'm saying. One more huge SmackDown, so that when the club's buying on the fire sale price, old J Snip 4 is buying on the fire sale price. The only problem with that theory, or that thought, and this is a very big possibility, what if there isn't a fire sale in the price of silver? They already tried that, and the price went up. They let the price go way up, then smashed it down. 2008 happened. That's when they let it rise and then crash it down. What if they don't do it? And for whatever reason, maybe they can't. And I don't know why they wouldn't, because again, they just set up with paper. But for whatever reason, what if they just can't do it? Maybe the short position, that they have, they can't do it too much because it'll, whatever. In $20, $19, $18, this is it. I mean, hey, it was $15, $16 not that long ago. That's why it's important that you have your silver and you don't sit here and say, well, I don't have any, but I want to bank on what you're thinking, that it may get smashed one last time, and that's when I'll go in. If you don't have any silver right now or any precious metals, do not try that tactic, because if it doesn't happen, it's only going to go up. And then you're going to be really, really in big trouble, because you're going to be in a panic. Oh, I should have got some. I need to get some now. And now you're going to pay more than what you could have got it for today. That thought is for only those people out there who have their precious metals and still have some money a little sitting on the side, or a credit card on standby. That's who it's for. Because if it does get smashed, you take advantage, and it'll be the greatest thing you ever did. J-Snip, man, that was the best thing you ever said in your freaking life. I can't believe it happened. This is insane, but it just happened, and I got it. Now the price is rising. That's how that would go, if it happened. Other side is, it doesn't happen, and it just only goes up. That's when you say, well, at least I've got my stash. I don't want to get it now. It's now $30. Holy crap. I don't want to get it now. Well, good. You already have your stash. You're happy. Just sit back and watch it. You're going to think, though, man, I should have got it when it was 19 and 20. But saying that is better than saying, oh, my God, I don't have any, and now it's 30, and now I got to get in. No. Anyways, keep your eyes and ears peeled. This year is becoming a very interesting year. Take care.